Hey, this is definitely not ideal. I'll open this video up by saying that I'm recording it on the night of Monday, August 24th. This will be public on YouTube the next morning. Or, I guess it's going to be the afternoon in Detroit. Either way, we've got some Detroit Red Wings news that isn't really like news, but it's more of a status update. And it comes to us from Bob Duff, who I think most of us are familiar with as a Detroit Red Wings beat reporter who has been doing a lot of work in and around the NHL, and specifically the Detroit Red Wings for a long time. He's done so for the Hockey News, and I think he's mostly a Detroit Hockey Now guy. Bob Duff made an appearance on the Full Press Hockey podcast earlier this week. And when it comes to the discussions on current Detroit Red Wings unsigned RFA Simon Edvinsson, it's not looking all too good for him and how his contract situation is going. Now, the question is, how is it going? Well, I don't even know if it's going at all. Here's a tweet from Rinky that has the Bob Duff quote on it. Simon Edvinsson's agent recently said he doesn't know who he is supposed to be talking to negotiate a contract. This tweet from Rinky says that is crazy. Now, you have some replies going out there and questioning whether or not this is actually real, but then Rinky says, yeah, no, here's the video. It's Bob Duff saying on the podcast, Edvinsson's agent recently said he does not know who he's supposed to talk to help negotiate and sign what would be Simon Edvinsson's post-ELC contract. Folks, it is the end of August. What? You know, here's the thing about Simon Edvinsson. His agency is CAA. They have a number of agents that include some pretty notable names. Elite Prospects has a bunch of agents on their profile, but I think the 2 or 3 big ones that everybody knows, it's JP Barry, it's Pat Brisson, it's Peter Werner. This is CAA. According to Elite Prospects, they represent 276 total clients, with 138 of those clients being NHL players right now. There are a number of superstars that are managed by this group, including Sidney Crosby, Jack Hughes, Macklin Celebrini, Patrick Kane, Nathan McKinnon, Lucas Raymond, for one. You're telling me that a group of people that manages some of the best talent in the National Hockey League, they might have a monopoly on the top-tier superstars and their contract negotiation rights. You're telling me that a group of people that's able to manage this successful of a clientele is looking at Detroit and saying, dude, we don't even know where to begin. Who do we talk to? How are we going to get Simon Edvinsson signed because we don't know where we go? That's crazy to me, man, and I say this as well. I hope to goodness gracious by the time this video is public on YouTube, Edvinsson actually has a contract. That would be great. I'd love to be proven wrong. I'd love to have Edvinsson signed to a deal by the time I wake up at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, and it's like, oh, okay, great. He signed for, I don't know, let's say he goes 5 years. He goes 5 years and he goes a reasonably high, but not actually too high dollar amount. Let's say he goes 5 years, $8 million AAV. He's making more than Quinn Hughes, something like that. Or maybe he goes 8 years. Maybe he goes 8 years because you can't sign 8-year deals after September, whatever it is, and the Red Wings are able to clamp down and get this contract signed, and Edvinsson signs for $9 million per season. That'd be a great way to lock up the future of the top pair in Detroit between Moritz Seider, who, by the way, he is signed until the end of 2031, making $8.85 million a year. He's been on that contract for a while. Pretty nice to see, and I think a lot of people are very happy with Moritz Seider and the contract that he's got, not to mention the quality of play he provides. It's undoubtable, the skill and the talent that Seider brings to the Red Wings, the dedication. Dylan Larkin could never, am I right? But the clock is ticking here. You do have a timeline for 8-year deals. And I'm not necessarily sure if an 8-year deal for Edvinsson is what a lot of Red Wings fans would have expected to happen. I'm sure many Red Wings fans would have wanted it. Like, okay, yeah, we know Edvinsson is going to continue to get better and be good, and if best case scenario, he is a Mo Seider clone, you want to get that guy signed for 8 years because he can provide maximum value into his prime years. But I don't think anybody was, like, necessarily guaranteeing that an 8-year deal was even going to happen. Either way, if you wanted to sign an 8-year deal, you're running out of time. We are at the end of August, and this September deadline is approaching fast. Meanwhile, Edvinsson's agency, they're not even sure who they need to talk to. Like, who in the hell made that trade for Muzzatti out of the Nashville Predators? Just talk to that guy. The Red Wings, either they are operating on such an underground, low-key, keeping it out of the spotlight type of way, or they're just not communicating to the people that they need to be communicating with in order to continually run this hockey team in a proper way. And I say that because you don't normally see agents telling media reporters like, yeah, we're trying to sign him. We want to get this done. But we just don't know who to talk to. Yzerman got kicked out. Oh, is he the acting GM for now? Is that Sean Horkoff's job? What about Draper? Who do we talk to? We got a client that we need to sign, and the season is coming soon. There are so many things that I find wrong about this, and I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. There are a number of replies as well to the tweet, like, everybody's talking about Detroit and whether or not they're dysfunctional or not, like, it bleeds in very well with the Dylan Larkin shenanigans that have kind of taken over the summer in an unfortunate way this year. Let's be real, though. There were Dylan Larkin shenanigans last year. Like, oh, Dylan Larkin was pissed off that Steve Yzerman didn't make any trades at the trade deadline, and that came out publicly. And then Yzerman was like, yeah, well, we settled it behind the scenes. We talked about it privately. And then I was like, okay, now the Red Wings are good at the start of the 25-26 season. They were one of the best teams, and then the Olympics came, and Dylan Larkin wasn't really all too great after, and the team fell out of the playoff race, and then he won it out, and it was like, oh, well, he hasn't spoken to Yzerman verbally in months. What a great way to continue relations between the general manager and the captain. They ain't talking anymore. Somebody called Charlie Puth and Selena Gomez. And now, the GM gets kicked out. It's a last-ditch effort to keep the captain around. The new captain and Mo Seider's going out there giving interviews in the media saying that he's trying to turn a blind eye to all this. And then the other guy who could potentially be the next Mo Seider and Simon Edvinsson, his agents don't even know where to talk to get the guy signed and playing for this year. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If the Red Wings hire somebody as their new GM today, y'all better be contacting CAA, Pat Brisson, JP Barry, any of these guys that represent Simon Edvinsson. You gotta get this guy signed as quickly as possible. If you wanted an 8-year deal, you should have been able to do this yesterday. Let me know in the comments all your opinions. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sign on, and bye.